Okay, Math Scholars, we're going to go ahead and do our first example of how to solve a system of linear equations by graphing. So you can see here we've been provided with the system y equals 2x minus 1 and y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. We should start by creating our graph. You can see they've created a grid for us. We should go through and label it. So y-axis, x-axis, I want to indicate that I'm counting by ones. So do a quick label here. Whoops. That should be a 3. So that my graph is ready to start graphing. And then really quick process. It says graph both equations. Yeah. Graph both equations. And there's a little hint beneath that says draw the lines across the entire graph. Just like we saw in our linear equations review video, we want to make sure we fill up the whole graph space in case that intersection point is on the edge of the graph. Okay, just like last time, I'm going to color code. So I'm going to do this very first equation, y equals 2x minus 1 in red. And it says identify b and m. So remember, b is our y-intercept. It's the constant at the tail end, minus 1. M is the slope, or the coefficient on the x term, in this case 2. And when I graph it, I'm going to graph it as 2 over 1, which means up 2, forward 1. So let's do that. We start with our y-intercept, so I'm going to go down to negative 1. I'm going to label that point 0, minus 1. And then I'm going to grab a different color to show my slope process, which is starting at that point, I'm going to go up 2 and forward 1. And that puts me right here. And then the next thing is I grab that ruler and I play connect the dots. Looks like it lines up. Let's go ahead and trace that all the way across the graph. And then really quick, I'm going to arrows on the edges of that line, and I'm going to label that equation, y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, let's repeat for equation 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. I'm going to color code that with blue. My y-intercept is the constant at the end, positive 4. My slope is the coefficient in front of the x, so negative 1 over 2, which tells me down 1, forward 2. I'm going to start by graphing that y-intercept of positive 4. And then I'm going to use the slope to find our second point. So down 1, forward 2, and I've already found where those lines are going to cross because my next point is on the first line. That next point is right here. But we're going to grab our ruler and draw that line. Let's see if I can eyeball this pretty good. Nope. A little more. A little more. I think right about there. Again, all the way across the grid, one side to the other. And then arrows and label. And our graph is almost done. Our last step is to find the point of intersection. And you should label it very clearly on your graph. I'm going to grab a funny colored pen. I'm going to circle it. This is my point of intersection. And I happen to know that those coordinates are 2, 3. 2, 3. Right? I go down to the x-axis, I'm at 2. I go across, I'm at 3. So our solution is 2, 3. Okay, that's our first example. I'm going to go ahead and do the second example in a separate video. Again, if you have questions, you can drop by my classroom or send me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.